welcome to the first challenge of this series where we're taking you back to basics and gradually building up through to intermediate as well. So our first dataset that we're working with today, we have sales from C&BSCo, everybody's favourite retailer with their messy data, and we're working with at the level row level, we're working with orders, so products in an order. And what we want to do for this challenge is we want to split out our product type and quantity from this field. Then we want to separate the flow and treat liquid soap and bar soap differently before aggregating our data to a certain level. Okay, so let's go ahead. So for the product split, what we want to do, if you're new and haven't done this before, then you'll go to your product name and we'll go to the three dots menu there. So there's a recommendation here, if we click on that, that says to split out our value. And when we apply this split, we get 3 columns. So one column would just contain the hyphen. So instead of that, we're going to do a custom split. So we split values and we go to custom split. We're going to do that dash and we're going to say split off all the fields. And when we click that, what you'll get, if I show you in my, here's one I built earlier, is you'll get these two fields, this product name split 1 and product name split 2. So all the product types and all the product quantities. So we'll just do a little bit of renaming and then remove that original product name field. Okay, so now when we separate out our workflow, so I've added on another clean step, and then I've gone back to this step, and then I've hit that plus button there to add in another clean step, so it branches off. Can you see how that works? Okay. So I filter this first clean step here to be liquid. So at my product type, I just clicked on liquid, and then I went up to the tick button here to say keep only. Similarly in the bar product type, I just clicked on the bar value and went keep only. So we get our bar and our liquid as the only product types that flow through in these different sections. For the liquid quantity, a little bit complicated. So what I first did, so what I want, if I see my product quantity here, and I've duplicated that field. So I've clicked on the product quantity and I've duplicated it. Why did I do that? Well, you see, I want to be able to multiply the values that are in litres by 1,000 so that everything's in millilitres. And I thought the easiest way to do this would be to duplicate this field. And from this duplicated field, I'm going to remove the numbers. So go to the clean option there and remove the numbers so that I'm left with just millilitres or litres. So I can understand which products are needing to be tweaked. And then in my original product quantity, I'm just going to remove the letters. So again, in that same menu, go to clean and remove letters. A tip for you as well, when you're doing this, the underlying functionality that's going on behind the scenes in Tableau Prep is regex. And if you want to see the regex that's being written, you can go to the little edit button in the changes tab. And you can see that it's using regex replace and replacing alpha characters with nothing when we're removing those letters. Okay, I'm going to change this data type to a numeric value, so a number whole, and that will, you'll see the order will change there. It goes from being sorted alphabetically to numerically, and then I'll write this calculation out. So what I'm saying is if that product quantity -1, that duplicated field has an L, a capital L, if it's in litres, then we want to multiply our product quantity by 1,000. Else we're going to leave our product quantity untouched. And that overwrites our existing field so that now we have everything in millilitres. Then I'll just remove this field that tells me if it's litres or millilitres. For the bar soaps, it's a little bit easier. So if I go back to my bar step here, you'll see that our product quantity field has 1x, 2x, or 4x, so 1 times, 2 times, 4 times. And so what we can do to get rid of those x's is to go to the clean step again, and we're removing letters. So that x is a letter, which worked well. It removed, and we changed the data type again to numeric. Okay, so now our next step is we're wanting to group by our product quantity, our store name, and our region. So we just select those members over here. I like to just double click when I know what value I want to bring through, but you can also pick up and drag it either into the grouped fields or the aggregated fields section. So I would group these first three, then I'm summing the sales value, and for that present in n orders, we're doing a count distinct of order ID. That was kind of the challenge of to work out what fields we should use. I hope you didn't fall into the trap of using the number of rows as I first did when I attempted this challenge, because of course there could be multiple products in an order, so we don't want to count the number of rows, we want a count distinct of the order ID, which we will then rename in this following step. So that order ID field gets renamed to present in n orders. Okay, and then if you need to rejig your order of your columns a little bit, you can always pick them up and drag them around. You can see how that changes our table below. But if you're happy, then we can go on to our output step. I'm not mentioning this second branch because they're exactly the same steps that we're doing in the top branch here. Okay, so I just, for my file, I first like to choose what output type I'd like to do, so I like to do a CSV for this. I go to the Browse option, I get access to my File Explorer to be able to name the file. I'm calling this one Liquid Output, and then I say Accept, and when I press Run Flow, that's when it's going to create that file. It won't have created the file until you hit Run Flow. So that's how you get to output your data, and the challenge is finished. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this first in our current series, and stay tuned for next week's challenge.